everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to launch something that I call the PAC jar, and it involves just taking any old jar and just putting progress and change jar on there. You can make it as plain and rustic, or you can make it as elaborate and beautiful, however you want to do your PAC jars. But I suggest starting off just kind of plain and rustic, and as you progress in your journey, it's a 1-year challenge that I'm launching today, and as you progress in your journey, maybe you can that's when you can make your jar more elaborate and put more decorations on it, because then your discipline and self-improvement, your you have a higher level of expectation from yourself, and as that grows, then go ahead and make your jar more pretty, more elaborate, whatever you want to do, or you can keep it as is. But I just encourage you guys to maybe try this journey out for 1 year. It's all about hiring your self-discipline, hiring your self-improvement, your confidence, challenging yourself a little bit, pushing yourself a little bit, seeing how much you can go outside of your comfort zone, outside your box, something that you normally wouldn't do, but it's a good thing to do. So hopefully, if you are interested in joining, keep on watching and I will explain more. Okay, so the other thing you're gonna also need is any journal, notebook. I have some, we're into recycling, my whole family ever since. So if you have any old journals, like your children's old composition books that they didn't use most of the pages, go ahead and use those, or any, like this is from the Dollar Tree, or you can get some at 99-cent store. This is my youngest daughter. This is her journal, and this is my oldest daughter, and then I have one of my oldest daughter's composition book. I just crossed out her name and I went ahead and put my name and the PAC jar journal, and then I put yesterday's date because that's when I started mine. And I'm going to show you mine. You can put any item in there, the first thing you see, or whatever little items you have that you don't need. It could be buttons, paper clips, safety pins. In my case, because I do makeup, this is one of those tiny free eyelash glues that comes with those false lashes. So I just put that in there. And I'm going to let you guys know the first thing I did to earn that. I've never been consistent on working out. And my best friend and I were talking yesterday on the phone. And we were talking about, we really need to buckle down and get ourselves together and just really discipline ourselves and have a routine and all that stuff. So basically what I did to break into my PAC jar journey for our 1-year journey, to bring our discipline level higher and our expectations of ourselves higher, our accountability to ourselves higher, I figured I would kick it off and launch it off by working out. So that's what I did. I went ahead and, I told my best friend, I'm going to go walk the dog. And when I come back, I'm going to go work out, things like that. So I did. And it felt great. I'm a little sore, but it feels good, So anything you want to do to launch it off, something that you're passionate about, go ahead and do that. Okay, so also more about, this journey, what it's about. So basically, if you're the type of person where, you're either a private person, or you don't really want to share your personal things with other people, what's going on, or you want to start improving your accountability to yourself. No one really has to see your journal, your jar, your PAC jar, your PAC journal. Nobody has to see it. It's all about you. And it doesn't matter how many items you have in the jar, as little or as much, because you're the one setting your own pace. So you can do little goals like weekly, every few days, every few weeks, every few months, every month. Maybe for the whole year, you'll have one item in there, because maybe things that you did to get to your goal at the end of your journey. Hopefully you did succeed to accomplish that. Maybe you just set that one goal and you want to start off with that one goal. That's fine. So this challenge is not about how many things do you have in the jar, because nobody knows what you are doing. Nobody knows your own personal private journey. Only you do. So for me, how I'm doing mine so far is I might do like weekly goals. I might do where I'm going to hold myself accountable to either fix myself and not look, you know, plain and drab every day, and only fix myself when I go to do, you know, other people's faces or whatever. So I might hold myself accountable to fix myself more often, maybe twice a week or something, you know. So what I did in my journal is, like right here, for number 1, which was yesterday, I put in what I put an eyelash glue in there. And what did I do to earn that? I did a 30-minute workout to launch. And then like about 15 pages later, because I'm going to list, I gave myself some space so I can list down throughout the 1 year what date and what did I put in there and what did I do to earn it. So about, you know, a few pages later, I went ahead and put plans, goals, discipline, and improvement. So, you know, I just wrote down the week of the 27th through July 4th, which is Tuesday through Tuesday. I did 7 days. And then I just put on here, you know, that I wanted to exercise to break in and start the PAC JAR challenge. And then, you know, that I would make this video, which I'm doing now. I held myself accountable that I would make this video today. And I did. So that's another accomplishment I did, that I set myself to a higher standard, and I did that to, you know, for my own feeling, for my own accomplishment, not for anybody else. And how can I do that? How can I make that happen? I put here, you know, I have to wake up early or sleep early, you know, make breakfast early for the family. That way I can have the time to do the video. So that's what you guys can do. You can write your plan here and then do a little bit of indentation and then write down how are you going to make that happen. So you can write your journal any way you want. You know, you can do it weekly, monthly, however you want to set it up for yourself. Everybody's different. So however you want to set it up for yourself, to challenge yourself, to write down your goals and how are you going to achieve that. So maybe there's something you want to accomplish at the end of the week. So maybe you have to do something 3 days out of that week to make that happen at the end of the week. So go ahead and write it in your journal. What do you need to do step by step to get there? Do you really have to like push yourself to get that first part done, and then on the second day it's going to be easier, the third day it's going to be a lot easier, and by the time you get to the end of the week, you're like, you know, almost there to get that goal done, and then you do it. So maybe then you can go ahead and put something in your jar. And it's all about like, you know, how like you feel kind of, it's like a reward for yourself. You know, it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I did it. I held myself accountable. I held myself at a higher standard, and I exceeded my expectation for myself for this week. So let me go ahead and give myself a reward. Okay, and also I just want you to know that by the end of 1 year, I bet you, just in my opinion, I bet you will get to know yourself and your discipline level and what you need to do to improve yourself, because nobody knows you like you do, you know, like especially after doing this challenge. You're gonna see how much discipline you either need, or how much discipline you already have, or how much discipline that you have gained through this challenge. Because you know, based on our backgrounds, how we grew up and everything, all of that affects us. So what we need to do is, you know, how they say, leave everything in the past, you know, like what I have done, you know, just in my own personal life. I've been through so many things, so many trials and a lot of different health issues and a lot of different just painful things. So what I did is I had to kind of put all that together, which I do, you know, for the past 10 years. I always forgive and forget. But then, you know, life happens, things happen, you're human, you have emotions. But basically, it's like, if you need to start over in life, you need to regroup. You need to see where you stand with yourself. You need to reevaluate who you are and see if you can like just, you know, bring yourself up higher. This is a great journey. I suggest this journey to you. Just try it out. Okay, and this journey is also excellent for people who procrastinate, for people who say, oh, I'll get to that, or else people that like to complain about something, but they don't do nothing about it. And I'm guilty of that. You know, maybe a lot of you are guilty of that in some degree, but I am guilty of that. I mean, you know, I have my good habits too. Like I love, you know, to clean and keep everything organized and stuff like that. But I have a few guilty habits that I procrastinate in, you know, which is like being disciplined about working out. That's my number one thing. I can't seem to like get myself in that mind frame where I have to do this a few times a week. No, you know, not just when I feel like it, because consistency is what gets results. And that's with anything in life. You know, it doesn't have to be just working out to get the results you want at a consistent, you know, time. But in life, you do have to have consistency to get good results, whether it's in relationships, jobs, you know, family, or I mean, anything, your goals, your hobbies, your dreams. You got to do something consistent in a pattern. That way you can get closer to your dreams, to your goals, to the things you want to accomplish and reach and attain. Or, you know, relationships, you guys know, you got to work at relationships. You can't just assume and take for granted that things will always be the same, or things are okay, or take advantage of your relationship, that you don't have to work at it because you're married, or that's my friend or best friend, and I don't need to do anything to, you know, make that relationship flourish or have a good foundation. Everything in life takes work, and everything in life, do something consistent to keep it, you know, afloat, to keep it, you know, going. And it's just something also that shows that you care, that you're willing to put time and effort to make it happen. So you guys, this 1 year PAC JAR challenge, the whole basis of this is basically to evaluate yourself. In 1 year's time, you can reflect on your journey. You can see all the things that are in your jar. You can see the dates and what you did to attain it, to earn it. And then also you can go ahead and read through, you know, whatever month it is, what you did, what you had to go through to achieve that goal, the little steps you did to get that, you know, item in your jar. So at the end of 1 year, you can really see your progress. Hopefully you have progress. This whole thing is about you, and it's so personal and it's private. This is just, you know, they say you can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself. And it's true. So this is your own challenge for yourself. See what you're about, see what you need to do to improve, you know, because if you can really hold yourself up and push yourself to get through the little things so that the big thing can happen, you know, that big goal, whatever, it doesn't have to be a big goal, but the little things, the little baby steps you need to do to get that one thing done. So let's say you want to clean the garage, but there's a few little things you gotta do to make it happen. Like you need to drop the kids off at the babysitters. You need to do this or that. That way you can concentrate and organize stuff in there, you know. So there's so many things that you can try to do, and see if you are the type of person that will really hold yourself accountable to get those little steps done, so you can get the big thing done and check it off your list. And I also think, you guys, that at the end of this PAC JAR challenge, at the end of 1 year, it's gonna improve your planning skills. Because, let's say, I was talking about the cleaning out the garage thing. Let's say you want to do that in 2 weeks, and you have 2 weeks from today, and you're going to write down little mini goals that you got to get done to finally get you and that garage going, you by yourself. Let's say, you live by yourself. And so you have all these little things you need to get done before you can actually go in there and do what you need to do. So it's going to help you think, it's going to exercise your mind, it's going to help you plan and just coordinate things. So it's not just helping you achieve your goals, but it's also helping you become a better planner, a better coordinator. And I believe that's so important, because that just keeps you on your toes. It keeps you challenged. It keeps you accountable. And accountability is another basis for this whole challenge. And, we expect so much from other people. We're always like, why didn't this person do this for me? Or how come that person didn't hook me up? Or whatever it is, right? And we rarely look at ourselves. We rarely look in the mirror and say, hey, how about you? What did you do? Did you hold yourself accountable to what you were supposed to do? Because it's so easy for other people or for ourselves to maybe criticize somebody else sometimes, which we shouldn't, because nobody's perfect. We can definitely give positive criticism, but we should definitely look at ourselves too. So the good thing is being honest with yourself, learning to say, hey, look in the mirror and say, what can you do that can help the situation? What can you do on your end to make things better? What can you do on your end to make the situation better for everybody? So don't just always look at other people. Look at yourself too, and then be honest to yourself and say, hey, you messed up, or hey, you didn't do this. That's why maybe that happened. So, have more flexibility with others, basically, and look at yourself too. Where did I go wrong? Did I say something? Did I do something? And if you did, whatever percentage you did in that specific scenario or situation, hold yourself accountable. Say, hey, I did that. I'm sorry. And don't be scared to say I'm sorry to other people. If you messed up, whatever it is, say, I'm so sorry, I messed up, or I did this part wrong. You did this part wrong, I believe, but for me, I did this part wrong. What can me and you do to fix that situation? Let's fix those messed up layers in our relationship. Or I'm sorry I did that. Let's fix it. Let's work together and fix it. And if you learn to humble yourself like that and apologize to people or hold yourself accountable, your whole life, I believe, in my opinion, you're gonna see like a whole new change in your life when you hold yourself to that higher standard of accountability. And that's what life is all about. If everybody can do that, we can all just get along. There will be more humility, more positivity, amongst people, because everybody will stop blaming everyone, and everyone will be watchful of the things they do, the things they say. Are they hurting someone? Are they doing something? Maybe they're being unfair. Maybe they're doing something that they don't realize they're doing it, but they are. So I just believe, that we should all just help one another out in that way. Okay, everyone, so the good thing about this challenge also is at the end of 1 year, like my 1 year anniversary would be next July 27, 2018. And what I'm going to do to celebrate, you don't have to, but you can. I suggest it, just to give yourself either a little party, just maybe you and your friends or family, your spouse, you and your kids, whatever it is. Give yourself a little mini party, whatever you want, little, big party, whatever. Go out to dinner, go out, and go to the park, maybe pack a picnic, anything you want to do. And just kind of reflect throughout the whole year and the things you learned, the things that you accomplished that you didn't think you could do, like when you're laying in bed and you want to lay there 5 more minutes because you're so tired, but challenge yourself, get right up and say, hey, good morning, I got this, I'm going to do this today. So, and it's also going to help you plan. So let's say you're that type of person that's tired every day. What can you do? Look at, when you're doing your journal, ask yourself, what are a few things I want to tackle? What are a few things I want to resolve in my life to make my life more fruitful, more better, more joyous, more happy, more enjoyable, So maybe you're the type of person, like I said, that gets tired every day. You don't know why, So maybe what you can start doing is like setting little mini goals for yourself. Eating better, sleeping earlier. Don't drink caffeine before you sleep. Make little goals. To achieve your bigger goal. So there's always something that you can do to help yourself. You're not really helpless. There's always something. You just have to be willing to go out there and find those answers, and you have to be willing to do something. You can't just sit there and expect something to happen. So go ahead and evaluate yourself. What do you want in this 1 year? Is there a few things you want to learn about yourself? A few things you want to fix and discipline yourself at? Is it better health, better finances, jobs, whatever it is? Evaluate what you want and see what you can do, the little steps you need to do to make those things happen, and then do it, as long as you're not hurting yourself, you're not hurting other people. And, of course, before you do anything strenuous or anything crazy, you want to go ahead and get your, checkups with your doctors, make sure you're healthy enough to do certain things. Like before exercising, like me, I already got my checkup. I'm okay to exercise. So always make sure you do things in a smart way also. Okay, everybody, so that is the end of my PAC jar challenge video. I hope, like I said, it's all up to you. This whole thing is about you. It can be as private or public if you want to share it with your immediate family in the house, whatever you want to do. But it's just basically to help you to become a more accountable person to yourself, which is so important. Because if you can depend on yourself, I think that's wonderful. It just makes you a better person all around. So try this challenge out. Let me know in the comments below how you're doing. If you're going to try this out, let me know. Are you facing a lot of challenges? I'm sure a lot of people want to hear about what you're going through, because anything that people read, and they can relate, it'll help them. They're going to say, oh my gosh, this person is also doing what I'm doing, or they're going through a challenge like this, and this is what they're trying to do to make it happen, or to help, ease whatever it is they're going through. So yeah, so just remember, PAC jars, it is not about how many things you have in there, but it's about your journey. What was your growth? How did you grow during the 1 year? It's personal. It's for yourself. So try it out. And if you like this video, if it can help you or anyone you know in any way, give it a big thumbs up. Press that like button and subscribe to our channel. It's absolutely free. We look forward to seeing you, hearing or reading your comments, and I will see you guys soon again. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.